try to kill him again. He know too much. All that shit is mastery. Knowing how to get the attention of the masses. But then you have to understand, this is something that I was taught growing up. The masses are asses. They don't know how to think for themselves. So it's very difficult to speak about shit like politics because people are fucking retarded. But I didn't want to say that in the comments. You know, I come and talk to my fellows on the side on live and tell y'all that people are fucking retarded. You don't know they retarded because you done went through life not being retarded. So you be like, oh, other people think like I could think. No, when people see cancel druski, that's all they can see. And then you playing with fire. We probably gonna lose about 10,000 followers. And I done did that a few times, I ain't worried. You playing with fire because once you step into that politics field, you start activating people's genes. You see what I'm saying? People's genes go back to believing slavery, how they told you slavery happened with that nigga Alex, whoever the dude was with the roots and shit. People who believe shit like that. People who believe that these people who stand there in front of them, the NAACP, care about them because they great-great-great-grandmama was believing in shit that led to them people. Okay, you start activating genes of people who think black and white is still a fight. You start activating genes of people who think that there were never melanin-dominant, successful communities of people. And we was always up under some Caucasoid. Where I was taught the other way around. That them Caucasoids had to learn shit from melanin-dominant people. We was the ones with the empires. We was the ones with the technology. We was the ones building the pyramids. I wasn't taught that I was some slave or some subservient being up under some melanin recessive gene. You see that? So these people gene get activated. What happened when that happened? Now they want to go to war with you. You see? So I stay away from politics. You ain't see me saying vote for this person. You ain't see me saying don't vote for this person. All I said was don't ask me to vote. I ain't even get involved in the conversation. I said don't ask me to vote. No. We won't let you harvest our energy. People don't think like that. Some people are right now trying to figure out when they going to vote again so they can feel like they important. I'm telling you, the whole shit is fake. All that shit is fake. And you got to look at the right shit and know how to watch for the right shit when certain things happen, but you can't say too much. When that situation happened with, what's the dude named? Charlie Kirk. Everybody was waiting on me to say something. Remember that? And I did. But I said something intelligent. So let me give you a gem. When people waiting on you to say some shit, and they like, this nigga ain't even said nothing. And you come out and you say some intelligent shit, you still ain't say nothing. Because if you say some intelligent shit to some stupid motherfuckers, you still ain't talked. You might as well have kept your mouth closed. So guess what I wind up doing through all this political bullshit? I just keep my mouth closed. I'm too fucking intelligent for politics. Can you go figure? There are such things as being too intelligent as this, that, and the third. I'm too intelligent for politics. I'm too intelligent for celebrity worship. Somehow I don't have that bone to worship them bitches. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. You see what I'm saying? I'm too intelligent for that. I'm too intelligent to believe that when that George Floyd situation happened, all of a sudden everybody gave a fuck about black people. I'm too intelligent for that. I'm too intelligent to believe that only George Floyd died by the hands of the police since then. Because ain't been no more marching, no more viral explosions, no more nothing. BLM didn't even show up until Kanye West put on a shirt, said White Lives Matter. Then the motherfucker resurrected after 2 years of being dormant. I'm too intelligent to believe that these people standing up in front of you like 19 Keys, Umar Johnson, Tamika Mallory, the rest of the people, I'm too intelligent to believe they're doing anything other than working for $1. I'm too intelligent. And you say, FaZe, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm getting the attention of the masses. So if I'm getting the attention of the masses, don't you think I know who the fuck getting the attention of the masses? I'm making money. So if I'm making money, you don't think I know who the fuck just trying to make some money? I'm having motion. If I'm having motion, you don't think I know who the fuck just trying to have some motion? Okay, real recognize real too. Regardless of whether or not the money is there, the attention there, or the motion is there. Real recognize real. And I don't recognize these motherfuckers. Who are they? They don't look kin. Me no see kin. They don't look like us. You say, yes, they do, because you're looking at the cancel druski back around. You're looking at what it appears to be. But you watch the video, the nigga, phase one, is not saying cancel druski. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm too smart for this shit. I gotta dumb myself way down to have these conversations. You see what I'm saying? And then you don't understand. When you are intelligent, do you know there's room for more intelligence? Here go my problem. I keep getting intelligenter. I keep getting intelligenter. And more people getting dumber. So it's like there's no room. So then what do? You roll the ball and see what it hit. I know that video gonna do views. Duh, I calculated that. I know people gonna be like, what the fuck is he saying? And so I even left little hints, Easter eggs even. In the comments say, yo, watch the whole video before you say some stupid shit. Watch the whole video before you say shut the fuck up. Or why you trying to cancel him? It's only about a minute long. So if you can't watch a minute long video to know what the fuck you're talking about, to respond on an Instagram post, what make you think that you have the attention span to sit and watch these motherfuckers swindle you every 4 years? One more time, clip the video. 3, 2, 1, here we go. If you don't have the attention span to watch a 60-second video to know what the fuck you talking about in a comment section on Instagram, what make you think or ponder or perceive about being able to understand and comprehend how the fuck these people swindle you every 4 years? What make you think you have the attention span to endure that? Let me help you. You don't. The language of the masses is 2 words. You ready? Here go the language of the masses. This is what y'all speak. Until you stop being a part of the masses and come up where the elite at. The language of the masses is 2 words. Current events. If the event isn't happening in the wave of the current, it's not happening. If it's not a current event to be in shape, you ain't gonna be in shape. If it's not a current event to care about ancestry, you ain't gonna be in shape. If it's not a current event to hate Trump, you ain't gonna hate Trump. Because you didn't hate Trump until it was a current event. If it's not a current event to put your fists in the air and say Black Lives Matter, you ain't gonna do that. Because I saw you when you was doing it. You was outside 2020. Yeah, I saw you. You was right there, but it was a current event. I ain't seen you do that since then. You ain't did it since then. If it's not a current event to say fuck Balenciaga, you ain't gonna say fuck Balenciaga. I see y'all watching, y'all wearing it again. Remember you were saying fuck Balenciaga. No, you're not. You're wearing it again. It's beyond fake outrage. This is just a fraudulent system that is screaming over and over again. We need more people who wiring don't work. And because people wiring don't work, they show up. They say, you needed us? Yeah, it's time to go and hate this nigga phase 1. You see what I'm saying? Current events. That's the language of the masses. Now, it doesn't mean we don't speak it. Masters, yes, I'm a master. Masters speak the language. It's just difficult to understand. You see what I'm saying? It's like when people say they so conscious, but then they get to the hood and they don't understand lingo. You ain't finna reach them niggas. You don't understand lingo. But masters have to understand that. So I understand lingo, but the shit switch every summer. And so it's hard to keep up with sometimes. Do you get what I'm explaining to you? You know people stupid. And it's hard to keep up with that level of stupidity. You see, Druski know what he doing because Druski, at least in that field of getting the attention of people, is a master. And a lot of these celebrities are masters. And if they're not masters themselves, then they are the product of mastery, meaning they're puppets. And then there's a puppeteer who is the master over that puppet. They know how to get the attention of people. And so people going to argue about it, scream about it, fight about it. But let me ask you a question. And all you got to do is answer it to yourself like a wise person would. When you look at Erica, do you see a soul? No, I'm not going to say too much because I can't say too much. We don't have time. And I can't keep making posts like this. This is a post that wakes up my algorithm. You know what I'm saying? But you can't make too many of them because you be done lost people. Right? Okay. When you look at Erica, do you see a soul? I mean, do you see a soul? I'm not saying do you see somebody who's alive. This ain't no race thing either. You'll understand. When you look at Erica, do you see a being that possesses soul? Soul. You got to understand what I mean. Do they look like they're in tune with the realm around them? How about this? I'll answer for myself, and I will do it out loud, unwisely. No. Huh? When you look at Tamika Mallory, do you see somebody with a soul? When you look at them BLM women, them 3 witches who they put in front of you, that was out here running rituals using y'all. Oops. Yeah, them 3 witches. Go look at them. You'll see them. When you look at them 3 witches and their witches, do you see people with souls? Huh? When you look at Lil Uzi Vert, when you look at JT, City Girl, that Lil Uzi Vert said he'll make believe in Satan and y'all let him get away with it. Do you see somebody with a soul? You better listen to what I'm saying to you. Watch, pay attention, look at the game. It's all right in front of you. Soulless puppets. Some of them have a certain degree of mastery, but they all want your attention. They all want your attention and will do anything. Look, besides the fact that Druski has an affinity for drag, all people want to do is be entertained. Some people miss what I just said. Druski just dressed up as a woman. He did drag. Who do you think he dancing for? Yeah, he's entertaining y'all, but he's not dancing for you. He's dancing for them folks at the top who say, go. The ones who say, yeah, you could be on TV. You think he just let anybody on his TV? You think he just let anybody on Revolt? All these Christian rappers who getting access to people like Birdman. You think Birdman just work with anybody? Or do he work with people who don't have a soul? And if you got a soul, he gonna try to drain it out of you. Ask my brother Esai M from back in the day, who were working with Jacquees and them, who I met all them in person. Them niggas started working with Birdman. He was fucking up Issa's soul. Just being around that nigga. You think these people have souls? And they're politicians and they're standing there and then you hear recordings where Erica is like, listen, this is what Charlie in heaven would want us to do. This is what this, da. We need more sales. We need this, that, and the man, listen. She was back to work the next day. But I can't say too much because many people won't understand what the turning point was actually supposed to be about. Many people won't understand they got movies already telling this story. Many people won't understand the whole shit is a screenplay. Politics is all games. How can we make ourselves generationally wealthy while disguising our business as we are for the people? Let me tell you why politics is a joke. Because we the people are not speaking about politicians, the Congress, the judges, we the people that actually make the decisions and make shit move in the country. It's not the motherfuckers standing up there in suits. It's not them people standing up there talking about I'm going to pass a bill. It's y'all. You the only ones who make shit move. So if you don't know that, and you don't understand that that's literally your birthright beyond the Constitution. If you don't know you're the only ones who make money real, why are you asking them to lower the gas prices? Refuse to pay well, you can't do it as a unit because you're not the people right now. Why? Because of politics. Politics divides those people, puts them in sections. It's called polarization, paralyzation. So you don't really have any movement. And then some people call themselves conservatives. Some people call themselves liberals. Some people call themselves Democratic, Republican. Some people think there's a third party. Some people think that they just come up with their own. I'm an independent party. Nobody cares what you are. At the end of the day, they're looking at that blue and that red. You see what I'm saying? They're looking at that negative and that positive. And whichever one they want to charge at whatever point in time is still on the same bird, they'll charge it. You see what I'm saying? Now, every now and again, you have a glitch factor like Trump that comes in. And Trump is a businessman. So they bring him in to make sure that the country can fight some of the debt. You know what I'm saying? Make some more business moves with these other countries they weren't able to make, like what he was doing with Kim Jong-un and Putin and the rest of them. Yeah, you'll see stuff like that happening, but it won't cover that. Because they don't want you to know that the U.S. is a business, bro. You know how you run a business? It's just big as fuck. It's just a big-ass business. That's why he say big business. big pharma, big tech, these are businesses. You dealing with huge, beyond moguls. You talking about marquees sitting at the top, at the table. It's a corporation. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't move without you. You are the clients. You pay it. Literally, you pay taxes. Or we pay taxes. The people that are still operating within the system are a part of the business. So get what they need. They need commercials. They don't call it commercials, though. In politics, they call it campaigning. Okay, while they campaign, they need rhetoric. They need talking points. And they need competitors. They need an enemy. And they need you to think that there's something that you need to be saved from so they can be the savior. All right. And then they need tantalization aspects, right? Like reparations. That's tantalization. They never plan to give you that. Remember, every year they plan it? Remember, since when our grandmama and them was young, they plan to give you reparations every year. And you fall for it because these people look like you. They got brown skin complexion. And they telling you they fighting for it. They fighting for their pockets. I don't care how many black mayors they give you. That black mayor is there to look big and bad to himself and his family and his community. He is not going to get you reparations. You can give us Keisha Lamb Bottoms. You can give us a new dude. What the other dude is? I can't remember the name. Some shit. Anthony, some shit. Andrew. You can give us him. You can give us any black mayor you want to give us. They don't have anything to do with the reparations and fixing black this and black that. They're businessmen and businesswomen. Their children go to college. They give a fuck about what's happening in their life. And guess what you give a fuck about what's happening in their life? When you gonna give a fuck about what's happening in your life? You know, you don't have to ask people to get your people together. You don't have to petition the government to get people together. You don't have to petition the government to come together and start businesses. You don't have to ask Congress if they approve of you passing your own bills by right of action. You see what I'm saying? If you say we're going to police our own communities, you know they can't stop you from doing that. You know, if you want to come together with a peaceful assembly, so long as you ain't speaking about overthrowing the government, don't fall for that. When people say we can overthrow the government if it starts running against how we think, don't fall for that because they got clauses for that. Because still even speaking about doing that is treason. They got sections and codes for that. You see? You don't got to talk about no overthrowing no government or wanting to fight the man or none of that or F police. You don't got to do none of that. Just do your own shit. That's the only thing. Politicians don't tell you to do your own shit. They always leading you back to Soros and them. They feed you right back to them same big businessmen. Bill Nye, the science guy, who you call Bill Gates. They led you to him. Let's all get our this thing in our arm. You see, how many people didn't get the thing in their arm? And life was just fine for you. How many people got family, went to the hospital? Like them folk was telling you, go to the hospital, and they didn't come out. Family, friends, went to the hospital and didn't come out. But you got sick a little bit. You stayed out. You did the shit they were saying don't do. Right? And you made it out. They feed you to more businessmen and big business. Never telling you, yo, man, we could do our own thing. You see what I'm saying? Why we need to be worried about whether or not the president is Trump or Kamala or Kennedy nephew? Why we need to be worried about that? When we have the presidents set for ourselves every time we put our foot forward. We don't got to wait on them. And then I'm showing people that in real time. And that's not just with they little, or the corporation for you, U.S. corporation, not just with them. I show you that with the music industry. Look, let me tell you something, because we were just on Ray Daniels' live stream. Let me tell you what the type of moves we make. Because I make the moves and I'll tell you, right? So we on the live stream and we recorded and all this other stuff. And I come in and we hitting and, you know, he did the thing where you get the throne, meaning you skip the line for $200, right? So we hitting behind the scenes on that. $200, we did it 3 times, $200, $200, right? And I play a song. But the song I'm playing, I'm like, okay, this is one of the newest songs. I already know for the type of environment, it's too fast and too in-depth and too characteristic for them. I know Ray Daniels thinks he's a specialist in the industry. Let me make sure this is clear. Ray Daniels, you're a specialist in the industry for about 20 years prior to now. You see that? So you're only going to have expertise for up to the last 20 years, but this is a new industry. And it's a new day and time, new apps, new algorithms. You may not understand that, but I'll show you. Let me tell you. So Ray Daniels is responding as if I'm an artist that's trying to get on or trying to become a part of Radar U, whatever the hell. And I'm just laughing behind the scenes because he like, I don't know how to work with him because he got like 18 people on one song, but the song is hard, da-da-da-da. He doesn't understand or know at that time, especially, family, I already got motion. I don't need you. I'm just here to let you know I'm here. This is what's called a business move. The businessmen think like this, that I'm going to plant a seed. And people think, why would you spend $200? $200 don't mean shit. You plant them seeds in them people who think that they them gatekeepers in the industry. You let them know I'm at your door and I ain't going nowhere. I'm here and it's over. So literally when he read it, he said, the ones who skip and pay $200, normally they arrogant. He said it's over because it is. Your industry is falling. It's falling. What you thought worked don't work no more. The same person that you saying got too many people on a record, you don't know that the algorithm requires that now. What you thinking works, you got spoiled because of money. You mistake working for being able to pay radios to play the shit. That's not working. You mistake working for people knowing that this person exists. That's not working. The working is actually being able to make connections with people who operate in a day and time where everything is instant. And people get bored with one flow. You have to understand that. You listen to somebody, the same flow, after a while, it's like, all right, you want to change the song. That's why when you saw me submitting the songs I submitted, it didn't take longer than 10 seconds for the song to start. And when I talked to my engineer, I said, yo, I don't want all that in the beginning. Anybody been around to see me do that? Say, hey, man, take all that out in the beginning. It's like 30 seconds. I know it's your beat, but look, that's too long in the beginning. Hey, start it right here. This should be starting like 3 seconds in. 1, 2, 3, boom. Go listen to my music. You'll see it don't take long to start the song. So when you send the shit in like that, they looking at that too. So it jumped right into it. The point being, by the third song, I played F Black History. It shut the whole shit down. Then I sent the video so he could see the motion. He said, and he got like 600,000 views. Man, this nigga hard. Da, 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 da. I can see why he didn't start with that one. Da, 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 da. But he got me nervous though. I don't need you, Ray Daniels. I'm just letting the people over there in that little circle know we here. And we ain't going nowhere. That's called a business move. So when you business minded, you don't give a fuck about money. And he even said it on the live. You'll see it when I post it. But he said he don't care about money. Right. I also have a huge team of people behind me. Whereas I say, yo, we about to do this. We go do it. And we just get it done. And we're making business moves and we ain't asking. You don't have to ask these motherfuckers for anything. The industry is not big. We taking this shit over. So Ray Daniels, when I finally get to speak to him, I told him I wanted to come on the show. He's like, I don't know who you want to. So it just showed me how out of touch certain people are. Because if you don't know who Phase One is at this rate, or you trying to kick it late in the game like this, yeah, you in trouble. Because this nigga done built and snuck up and finna bomb y'all whole shit, hypothetically. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I'm listening to him and another dude named Boom Man, who I've been watching what Boom Man been doing for a while. Boom Man, he's starting to switch it up because his soul being touched by his conversation he had with Ray Daniels about how art is being used, right? Now, I don't have nothing negative to say about Boom Man. However, I know Boom Man is a businessman. So if you're going to tell me you were making contracts and didn't understand what you was doing, all right, you ain't finna fool me. You knew what you was doing, and you know what you're doing now. When you telling these people that they can send X amount of money and you gonna help them, da-da-da-da, you know when somebody comes to you, whether or not they actually have star potential or whether or not you know what to do with them. You see? Watch what I just said so you don't get it misconstrued. He knows whether or not somebody has star potential, or whether or not he knows what to do with them. You could take a tire out the yard, I'm looking at one right now, and turn it into a superstar if you know what the fuck you're doing. So when Ray Daniels is saying shit like labels can't make an artist anymore, that's not true. Here's what you're really trying to say. Labels don't know how to make artists. Because I took people from 2,000 followers and in just 9 days, they was at 20,000 followers, getting hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views on their posts with no prior experience in it, no prior going viral, no none of that. No, they didn't have the motion before then, but just because we put it in motion and we took 9 days, they own. They own so much that I'm letting it look like, okay, we gonna let it sit for a while. Business minded. But we take 1 month on someone like Sunday. What you think gonna happen? We were doing interviews with Woody. Look, business minded. It's the ones who sit there and study shit. They ain't moving off emotion. You see what I'm saying? They look at shit and they peep game and say, okay, this is gonna be like this. Okay, cool. So next thing you know, you seeing Woody pop out with Sunday, you see Woody pop out with Asia. You think this is by accident? No. And we making business moves. So when people looking at that, y'all looking at it one way. The people that's out there in the masses looking at it and say, who are these people and why they working with Woody? Including people like Rollo. You know, Rollo was like, yo, let me work with Woody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he did it just because we did it. I'm just saying, you don't think I peep the entire game? I'm just watching. Because I don't have no competition with these people. The competition is over with. The moment that you say to yourself and to the people that's partners of you, say, we're not taking no for an answer. We're going forward with it, and it's over for them. They can straggle and do whatever they want to do and compete however they want to compete, but you're not going to be able to outlast it. You see? Because authenticity cannot be trumped. It can't be trumped. It won't be trumped. So you can't say, Ray Daniels, that the labels can't make artists. I'm a label. I have Pharaoh Clan Records. And eventually, everybody's going to want to be a part of Pharaoh Clan Records. Watch what I'm telling you. Pay attention to that. Eventually, everybody's going to want to be a part of Pharaoh Clan Records. And you want to know what the criteria is going to be? You got to be real. Oh, don't think that. No, they're going to see Pharaoh Clan eating. Pharaoh Clan not just eating. These people are getting advances that don't have strings attached. You know what I'm saying? They're going to see stuff like that happen and mark my words, because I told you to mark my words about the label. Some people thought I was just playing. They're going to see stuff like that happen. I want to be a part of the label. Which is why artists that are on Pharaoh Clan Records, y'all going to have to step it up. Because I don't sit, I move. You don't need to wait for me to do stuff. You need to do stuff. You see, there ain't no way you're going to be on the label and just sitting. And I'm telling y'all that in front of everybody. Because if you know me, you know me. We'll be moving on. And it'll be out of love. Say, you don't understand what this is? You don't know what we're fighting against? We're fighting time. You ever won? We're fighting time. We will be the anomaly of people who win. We're fighting time, and we're fighting time. You see, you didn't see 1440 Todd going viral with the free Dr. Malachi York. You think it's not still about? You see me pop out and just start coming for everybody. Please understand. I don't care if you do, but please understand that it's because we're running out of time. We're running out of time, and the attention that's going to be needed is going to take the masses. Now, FaZe, why it's going to take the masses? Let me tell you why. Because I go to the Sabaeans and I test their spirit, and they fail every time. The ones who supposed to be family, locked in and ready to go to war about this, they fail every time. Oh, they'll sit there and play that they know the doctrine. They'll sit there and play like it's about the souls and X, Y, and Z. But talk to them about the freedom of Dr. Malachi York, and the conversation get this short. Talk to them about the freedom of the man, who I'm telling you, I don't care nothing about them books, no none of that. I can master them books in one summer. I don't care nothing about that. What I care about is him coming out, because I heard him say out of his mouth, the doctrine is not perfected. He said, when I get out, then I'll perfect it. So these people are speaking about leaving the earth. Let me tell you what I'm saying. The Sabaeans are saying we got till 2032 to either be out of the U.S. or be off the planet. Mark what I said, because they can't say they didn't say it. I keep receipts of everything. The Sabaeans are saying they have to be out of the United States of America and off the planet by 2032. That's like 6 years, less than 6 years. So let me tell you why I'm highlighting that. Because they said that back in 2002 about 2003. And then they said that in 2003, when we missed it, about 2013. And then when we missed that pickup, they said that same thing about 2023. And then when we missed that pickup, now they're saying it about 2032. You want to know what I call? I call bullshit. And you say, FaZe, you grew up in this. Yep. FaZe, you've been walking around pushing the whopper, da-da-da-da. Yep. And I call bullshit. I call bullshit because this don't sound any different than when them Hebrew Israelites were saying they were leaving in 2000 or the 1960s. 2000 came, then none of them niggas go nowhere. Captain Cesariat still their ass out here with them big ass gowns. They ain't go nowhere. You ain't gonna tell me that you either one, believe in the doctrine, or two, give a fuck about the doctrine. If the main point of the doctrine is we got to get out of here, but we can't get out of here if he not free. But y'all still running around here telling everybody to ask y'all anything as if you have the answers to the real questions. The real questions is, or are, when he gonna get out? Ask them that, they flip it on you. What are you doing? No. I was 3 years old when they locked him up. This is the child asking y'all, what the fuck happened? And you got to tell me why I need to listen to you if you can't listen to the master of all time. You got to tell me why the fuck I'm supposed to be humble in your Telegram room where the master of all time, I'm hearing him say, y'all care more about the doctrine than him. See, what they mistake is when I come into them rooms, I'm not there for long. They don't notice that. I pop in, I see, and I pop out with a report. And the things that I'm saying, battery in my back to say. The things that I'm saying, I done heard them say. The questions I'm asking, I done heard them ask. So when they saying, oh, we're going to get the doctrine and we're going to push this up to the rest of the people, let's talk about the Adamites and the rest of it, I'm like, yo, it don't matter because your doctrine says we leave the planet Earth. And you told me you got to 2032 and after 2032, there's going to be a destruction of the plane. And you're not trying or fighting to get the master out so that you can go. You say, why would the master need to be out? Because according to the doctrine, he's the only one who can open the Stargate. Don't this sound crazy? Okay. So here's what I think. But nobody don't ask me shit. I think they all getting left. I think all of them getting left. But nobody asked me. And I think he ain't coming to save nobody. Nobody don't ask me what I think. I think now, if the ones who are called Morizaku or Ritskien don't know who you are, or you haven't made yourself known to them, oh, but then not put on your Agtui, then not go out there and teach the doctrine, then not make YouTube accounts and Telegram rooms that I never knew you. If they don't know who you are already, if they don't already have their eye on you and they'll send you symbols like the green light, you ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. And then they say, well, if he ain't out by then, make sure you have your house in order. If he isn't out by then. So here's what I think. They think we all stupid. Because if you really think you're leaving the planet, one more time. If you really think you are leaving the planet, nigga, not going just to Africa, leaving the planet, and you think he the only one who can get you off the planet, then why the fuck are you wasting your time talking about the Adamites and who Kadar and them was and whether or not we got new symbols and who gonna believe in this, that, and the third, or whether or not they're Arcturians over here with viruses over here, da-da. Why are you wasting your time with all that? You can know all that. That like being dressed, right? You got the flyest shit on. You got the car parked outside. You got all the money you gonna spend for the night. You got your homeboys with you. Everybody pulling up. Y'all riding out together. Nigga, I'm talking about you clean. I ain't talking about just regular clean. The lineup is perfect. You got the cologne sprayed to the percentage that you wanted to percentage it to. I'm talking about, nigga, you know that one time when you was just fresh as you ever wanted to be. You didn't even know you could get that fresh, but you did. It was almost like you had to walk. You remember them days, nigga, when you got so fresh that you had to walk without bending your knees. You ain't even want to crease your freshness. You weren't even wearing shit that could crease, but you just couldn't believe that you was that fresh. And you get outside and you go to the car. You got to walk with it too, because why wouldn't you? And then you get to the motherfucking car and you lost your keys. I don't give a fuck if you're calling yourself a student teacher. Where's the master? I don't give a fuck if you telling people they can ask you anything because you got vision. Where's the master? Show me the body. I don't want people buying your books. I don't want people coming to your temples no motherfucking more because it's 2026. Where is the master? Y'all aren't great. The master's great. Y'all aren't the masters. The master's the master. You would have had to show me by now that it's all of y'all where the land at. It's all of y'all where the pyramids at. It's all of y'all. Have you even established a place to attempt, just in case, if you say if he won't be out? Okay, then where's the land that you can at least scream and plead to the overseers? Please don't leave us. We at least did that. Where can you say you did? Y'all niggas is renting buildings, running your motherfucking mouth, and expect everybody to come in here up under your London accent and bow down. You got the wrong motherfucking one. Only reason why I'm not at them Sabians, how I could be at them Sabians with the doctrine they push and the things they claim he said, all of that, is because, like the thing with cancel druski, people don't have the smarts to be able to discern and distinguish between me coming for them motherfuckers who sit up there posing and coming for the master. So I leave them alone. You see the mastery? I gotta leave them alone because people will be confused. Say, Faze, why you coming up against Malachi? I'm not coming against Malachi. I'm trying to show you something about these folks because of what he said, though. See what? Let me tell you something. I said this in one of their groups recently before I left. I said, you know, when you put yourself in position to hear directly from the source, it's hard for people to play you. It's harder for them to play you now. Because you can't tell me he didn't say that. You got to not address it. Because I heard him say it. Y'all still pushing the doctrine. Why you won't tell these folks that the doctrine teaches he has to be out? Tell these folks that, unless you scared. What, you scared it don't make sense? You scared you ain't gonna be able to make sense? Y'all talk down on the Christians, talk down on the Muslims, talk down on the Hebrew Israelites, talking about these people left the religion, and then have the nerve to tell me that we supposed to believe what he say because of a statement that y'all are using, saying, of course, I told you, don't believe me, check it out, so that one day you will be able to believe or hear what I say and trust what I say when you can't find it anywhere else, something to that degree. I'm like, y'all abusing that statement because you can't just believe what he's saying. That's why he said, don't believe me, check it out. You ain't gonna find what's happening with the Riskians in any of these books, academia, any of that, unless you're speaking about certain angelic stories that may align. You're going to have to get in touch with who that is to know what it is and what he's talking about for yourself. If you don't, you're just running your mouth. And it doesn't mean that you don't trust him and you can't trust him. You can do whatever you want to do. But please understand, if you don't know for sure that that green light is real, you don't know what you're talking about. Can't take nobody anywhere. Can't show them anything. If you don't know for sure that these beings are paying attention and watching, you ain't had no encounter. He said it. He said, don't believe anybody when it comes to extraterrestrials, not even me. They want to jump over that like he didn't say it. He said, don't believe anybody. He said, until you have the experience. Why is that important? Because you can't just read about the Anunnaki and then know who they are. You can't just read about the Riskians and then just know who they are. Pamorzaku are beings who fly outside of this plane or from outside of this plane into this plane using crafts, Henu, right? Whatever you want to call it. And those are real people. But you won't know that if you just out here running your mouth about it. He may know it, but you don't know it. Do you get what I'm saying? So does it make sense that they're saying we leave in 2032 and he ain't out? But you see them folks, what they doing? Pushing the doctrine. It's just the doctrine. It ain't about him. Or they might make a video when they made that video and said the untold truth of Dr. York, they didn't ask me if they could put me, well, actually they did ask me. I didn't tell them they could put me in that video. When they put that video up, they said, they labeled one of the parts of the video as his sentencing and then had him there pleading guilty as if that's what a trial ended at. These people don't know what they're doing and don't know what they're pushing. And when I hear them teach, I'm like, you don't know what you're teaching. You're answering these questions how Christians will answer the questions about the Bible when you ask them a question they can't answer. As opposed to just saying, I don't know. Just tell me you don't know. You see what I'm saying? And if you're explaining to me he needs to be out and he ain't out, you don't care then because you out here pushing the doctrine. If they listen, here's how unimportant the books would be. Listen to what I'm telling you. Why am I selling books to make profit if this is about me leaving the planet? I'm not going to be able to take that money with me. Look at what I just said to you. And if I'm the son of Dr. York, why am I running around flashing money and G-Wagons in the group chats, talking about fighting for his freedom? When the son of Dr. York said, yo, he's locked up, so he's no longer the all-powerful. He trapped up, so he can't do what he could do if he was a God outside of the... That goes against their doctrine. The doctrine ain't saying that Malachi that's in there is Yanun. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I think it's all bullshit. I think they're playing games. I think the only one who knows the truth about things and how things are moving right now is the master. And the more I go and test their spirit, the more it's the same thing. It's still ego. It's still arguments. It's still, I think I'm better than someone. It's still all of that. And they're clicked up doing it. You would think it's unity. No, they're clicked up. You got some factions of Sabaeans over here. Some groups of Nubians over here having lunch. You got the Ansar who stay out of all of it. Well, we need the Ansar to Allah. We need them to activate again and show these people that they stop playing games with this shit. Don't stand there and try to act like you're great where your work's at. That's what the Ansar was about. We need them, but the Ansar to Allah feel disrespected and not considered by the Nubians and Sabaeans. You see what I'm saying? And the Nubians and Sabaeans, some of them are looking at these Ansar to Allah like they too old. You know, but it was the Ansars who made it be that we have something. You see what I'm explaining to you? So it's just like we running out of time with all that. I just want to point that out, though. I can't do it how I want to do it to really set the record straight on that, because people can't comprehend. I'm not coming for the master. That'll be crazy. I'm coming for the people who standing up there profiting off of his imprisonment. You see? That's why they want to sell you the books. They don't care nothing about whether or not he get out. They get excited when them new symbols come out. They get excited when he gets a new doctrine, because now they can make some more money. Like it was told to me, it was asked, how would y'all want to be rich forever? A lot of people are trying to be rich forever off of his imprisonment. You see? So what make you think I can, when you see people deleting the books because they can't make some money, y'all witness that. They deleted the books out of the link that was being sent around for free because they weren't able to profit off of that. They're like, yo, man, you taking money out of the pockets of the people that are doing it. Why you care about that? You care about the money being taken out your pocket. I care about the man being taken out of prison. It's two different types of wars. You see? And I'm not making money off his books. When people ask me about the books, I send them straight to the links. Yo, go get them for free. You see? Because all them books may not be for you. It's rare that you find somebody that read all the books. All them books may not be for everybody. You see what I'm saying? You'll have some that are for certain people at certain points of time. Some might activate you a certain way, some might not. I just wanted to point that out, that everybody's gaming. We got politics in Nuwapu now. You see? So do that mean you got to abhor or go against these people? No, I wouldn't tell you to do that because you're not prepared to do that. What I would say is just watch the game. Watch the game. Them Sabaeans don't care about the master. And the Nuwabians don't care about the master. And them Ansars don't care about the master. And if I'm talking about you, you feel hit, that's you I'm speaking on. Everybody else who, you know I'm not speaking to you, then I'm not talking to you. But if it's all about him, why are we making so much money off this shit? If it's all about him, why every time we turn around, it's another attorney about to do some shit that need money? You see? But that's what he said. He said when he come out, all the money gains going to be over. Now, I ain't telling you I read that. I heard that. I heard him say that on the phone. The money game is going to be over. And he was calling out his son and everything. The same ones who stood in front of everybody say that the master is rocking with them. Trying to play him for less than who he is. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. A lot of people have been gaming, and the game's finna end. They don't even know how much it's finna end. You with me? But we got to spark the attention first. We got to get to the masses first. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you see with the druski thing. But that's what you're going to see with what's coming after it. That's why I said in the comment section, man, y'all make sure y'all follow phase 1. Because you don't want to miss what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. Yeah. That's why I just stay out a lot of this shit. Like, I can't. You know, these people really, I'm in these, they really think they standing out as a being or someone other than who the master is. You're not. We only can say we this, that, and the third because of he. We only can act like we this, that, and the third because of he. So I don't want to hear nothing about no doctrine. Don't tell me about no doctrine. This how you, when next time they want to teach you something about the doctrine, hold on, let me see if I can get this video posted. Next time they want to teach you something about the doctrine, ask them, does the doctrine end off planet for certain people? Right? Ask them, does the doctrine end off planet? But don't get sucked in. Let me tell you why. All right? Same reason why I say we got to fight against this psychosis shit that done took place in the conscious community, the spiritual community, all of that. We got to fight against it. They buying time, right? For a fleeting gain, they buying time. It seemed to be the whole thing was a setup. All this, we leaving the planet, all that other stuff, that's a setup. That's to keep you locked in, right? So when the next 10 years pass and it don't happen how they said it, they're going to move the goalposts. They're going to move the goalposts. So 2023 to 2032 is another goalpost. And what they're doing is they saying, oh, it's because we didn't do what we needed to do. We didn't come together in divine love. We didn't work together and Ashuk, so he's not out. I think y'all are gaming. I think you don't believe what you're saying. I think you don't believe you leaving the planet Earth. And I think even if you believe that, you know you don't know what you're talking about, but y'all steady making money. So damn, how do I deal with this when I grew up in this and I done fought for this, and then I turn around and I realize that the people who I grew up around doing the same thing they told us people out there was doing. And people are afraid to speak like this, and I'm not. I'm not afraid because I ain't under no psychosis. My master didn't raise me to be that way. The master teacher raised us to think for ourselves. And I think y'all don't know where he at. Y'all don't know what's going on with him. Y'all don't know where Yanun is. You don't know whether or not this is left or that's right. You can't tell me what these symbols actually mean. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think people are lost out here. And then they're talking about it as if they know. Who's to say Yanun ain't already left? Who's to say that? Who's to say Yanun ain't already got the fuck on, and whoever them chosen few is already gone? Who's to say everybody missed the pickup? What if there's some children we didn't even know? You know what I'm saying? That got picked up. But what he do when he was teaching in the doctrine decades ago? He was saying, y'all started talking about y'all, the adults. What about the children? It's about the children. Y'all ain't the 144,000 anymore. It's the children. Everybody want to act like he didn't say that. You see what I'm saying? Now, they did say, oh, he moved it and saying it was the adults again. Man, listen, I think y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I think if you're going to tell me, like we was in one of the temples in Decatur, and one of the people was speaking about it named Dentut, he was talking about the year 2023 being the last pickup year. This is what they said. Janet Goins said that. Dentut said that. A few other people. Basil, what's the nigga name? Duswa York, who be out there saying he Pop's son. He said that. Right? All of them was saying 2023 was the last year to be picked up. I went to the Z Fest, which is June 26th, which is Dr. York's birthday, the birthday celebration. I went, and the lady, Janet Goins, was the clan mother at the time. People were bowing down and crossing their arms in front of her. I ain't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I see her, I speak to her, like regular. You know what I mean? I don't know who people think they are. So, and let me tell you another thing about that. When you got people in position, you got to read between the lines what I'm about to say. Some people are sitting in hierarchy, right? That don't mean he trusts them. I ain't going to say too much. Because, you know what I'm saying? You just got to be able to read between the lines so that they can't say he just said it, because there ain't time for certain things. Or if you done miss certain things, I can't do nothing about that. But some people sit in a high seat. And there's some of them in here, they listen. Someone sit in a high seat. And people think because they got this name or this attachment to their being, right? Or this brand or this title, that the master trusts them. No. There's a limitation of certain people that's around, and you have to understand why that is. Go watch the movie Golden Child, And you see when they had to lock the golden child up and surround him by four corners of evil. So there's a small amount of people that's around, right? And then it was interesting because the dude then sent somebody else named Nuntat a scripture or a piece from one of the books, The Unclean Issue, and said phase one just wants followers, right? And Nuntat responded and said, respectfully, phase one has more followers than both of us combined. I don't think he's here to collect followers. And I was like, that's right. Like, she got sense. Because why were all these brothers, when Nuntat did the chat and she opened it up and was reading the Hereafter Doctrine books, why were all these brothers in there trying to warn Nuntat? Some nigga named Nadif was trying to warn her about the prayer runs that my brother make, that I support him in. Somebody named Denzel was trying to warn us, and I want followers, and I'm trying to be a leader, all that stuff. And she had sense enough to say, yo, he don't need nothing from us. He came in here, asked if he could bring more people in to hear the doctrine and read the books. And that's what we did until the niggas in there started ego tripping, battling each other, wanted to debate, want to be smarter. They let Prince York run rampant, fucking up everything like a Tasmanian. You know what I'm saying? And then everything was smooth until I asked Nuntat about the spaceships. People forget. I remember before I asked her about them Hindus or those spaceships, everything was cool. But when I asked, I said, yo, so what's going on with the Hindus? Who gonna be able to get on the Hindus? And where did it say that the Caucasians be able to get on the Hindus? And da-da-da. I started asking questions about the spaceships, right? That was supposed to be coming to get people. And she got upset. Now, you make that make sense for me. She said, we shouldn't be fear-mongering. I can't make this up. This is what she said. She said, I know you asked about the Hindus. She said, well, we can't be fear-mongering. Some people, don't need to hear it like that. We don't want people to be afraid. That means you don't want people to know the doctrine. Because the doctrine says destruction is coming in a million different ways, including the destruction of those who haven't perfected their genes. And so, I'm trying to figure out, what do you mean? The whole thing is talking about people being left behind, not making it, inheriting the destruction, not being able to clean up their genes, warning again. He's a warner. You see? Among other things. And so, because she was saying that, I said, yo, I'm not fear-mongering. I remember Malachi said, when you see and hear about something coming from God out of heaven and you get scared, he said, you must be on the side of the devil. And it was quiet. I'm like, that's what he said. I didn't say that. So how is it a fear-mongering thing? There's no fear. I'm not a fear-monger. There's no fear among us, is what I say. You see? How is it a fear thing if that's a part of the doctrine that the Hindu come and take the children of theirs, whoever the perfected gene people were, the bloodline, whoever they were looking for, and they leave before they destroy the planet? There's going to be some safe zones. Okay, talk about that too. I know y'all want to talk about economics and how we're going to be great as a culture and all the stuff, symbols and stuff we got and how different and special we are. But we still in the cities. You see what I'm saying? And if there's safe zones, we need to be talking about them safe zones. How you know the time belt ain't off? If you really believe this stuff, then don't you need to move to where the safe zone at? Because you don't know when what if they move the time belt and they speed things up, like in the book of Matthew, for the sake of the elect? What if the days become so short and the time belt slips so much that 2030 is this year? What will you do? Other than continue to get on Telegram and try to tell us that y'all understand the doctrine, but you're not living it. A part of living the doctrine is actually transforming. A part of living the doctrine is actually coming together. Shouldn't be no clubhouse room, divine love and unity or something. It shouldn't be that. It should be everybody coming together. Or we should have some land where everybody can meet. You're separated. I don't care who over there in Trinidad and UK. Pick a spot. Come to America like everybody else did back in the day. You're not special. Find a spot in America and everybody meet. Come together. I'm the baby saying this. That's what's so different. You can't say I wasn't there. You can't say I didn't believe in y'all. I believed in the elders. I thought y'all knew what was up. And then we get older and it's like, yo, you want me to keep playing these games when I know all this behind the scenes shit? You see, I'm just not going to slander, but I know all this behind the scenes shit. I know half of y'all ain't nothing about what you talking about. So you want me to still play the game? You don't still try to play me like you can sell righteousness to me in a platter? Show me the work. Get the land. Everybody come together. And if you're saying this is what we need to do so that the many of us can get out of here, then that's what we need to do. Unless it's not talking about the many. Stop gaming these people, trying to live your life and make the money and watch the clock run out. That's what y'all doing. Because he said, when all of this is over, only 9 of you will be with me. He said, when all of this is over, there'll be enough of you left to fit in the Volkswagen. So stop trying to push this he came to save the black race thing. Well, Baba says he came to save the black race. Baba also said he'll give you what you want. Y'all want religion? I heard this came to me. They want religion, I'm going to give them religion. Sabian is a religion. They said it. Sabian is a religion part of it. When have we ever been about religion? Y'all, some of y'all still want religion. And then the active way of life, Wunuwap. Y'all ain't living it. You're not Nuwapians. Where are the prophets? Nuwapians tie back to prophets. Where are the prophets going out as prophets? Those who pushing the good word and the good news. You see? Across all of the 4 corners of the earth, where y'all at? We want a religion. We have a great culture. We have a religion. We don't have anything if the master ain't out. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me we have a culture. No, we don't. We don't have a language. We can't even decide on which words is what. Some people think they have a dominion over the other people because they think they know the language when he could change their whole language tomorrow. Everything you thought was just making you have a status, you'll be right back at ground zero. I think he did it like that on purpose. You know what I mean? So people don't get the big head and think that you above the program that you didn't even create. You want me to see the greatness? Let's get them out. That's the greatness. Other than that, everything looks small to me. Everything looks small. I had to tell them niggas on the Telegram. I said, man, listen. I miss those days where everybody was able to be in face to face. I look forward to that. So niggas don't get dizzy in the brain. Well, you got to stand there and face a man. And you can't just text and talk to him and put him on limitation and delete his comments when we having all this little shit. Look, be face to face and let's stand on right knowledge. Where them days at? All this tucking the tail shit I'm not used to. I come from them elders now. I watch the elders stand there. Oh, they'll talk for 9 hours to make sure the edification is present. Where them days at? I don't have them days now. Now they want you to think they're great because they have a YouTube channel. And they dressing up. Right? And then trying to despise the one who I'm not out here trying to dress up for it. That don't mean I won't. Maybe I will do it just to show them how to really do it. But I'm not trying to dress up and put on. When you see us out here screaming, we screaming about the master. We screaming about him, how they abandoned him. And that's what he's saying. It'd be different if he didn't say that. He said they forgot about me. Everybody talking about him being El Khadir and Melchizedek, all of that stuff. That's what he said. He said, but they forgot about the man. You see? They forgot about him. And they moving on and they're trying to be great as if he didn't have anything to do with it. No. So I can't get with the gaming. You saying you believe we're leaving the planet and y'all can't come together? So you just gonna watch the clock and watch time wind down. And y'all, I realized this in 2022. It hurt me, but I got over it real quick. I said, Pa, man, they never intended to free you. They never intended to. All that stuff we was taught when we was young about 2009 and come on, y'all, let's chant. He gonna get out. You know what I mean? The T-shirts. And I got to look at all this stuff again. I got to look at how many T-shirts was being sold at the parade, how many people going into their savings, bankrupting themselves, you know what I mean, to send in money. I got to look at how many attorneys that came and went. I got to look at the Rochelle's and the rest of them who came, said they were working on Liberia and fled. I got to look at everybody. And the people who, when I got of age and I went around to go and work with them to help them, they all did the same thing. Soon as we got to the point where, all right, here it is, it's real, it was like they telling me I'm going to Fiji, right? Then I get on the bus and the bus break down. They telling me I'm going to Fiji. Then I get on the boat and the water get crazy and damn near kill me. They telling me I'm going to Fiji and there's no planes flying. But I got to the point. How does that work? If you saying he in there and we got to help him, and you done sent me on these missions and I got the missions done that you didn't think I was going to get done. I come to you, I'm ready, let's move. And then you said, well, there's nothing else we could do. But I literally know what we could do because you said what we could do when we get there. You start scratching your beard. Say, wait a minute. Is all of this a game? Do y'all even know where he at? Do y'all even know what's going on? Or is all of this a game? You see? Some people heard what I said. Some people can't hear me. I'll tell you this. Don't believe anybody. Don't believe anybody. None of them. Because I don't run around and test them. Don't believe them. You can't pass my test? No, you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. Because something wrong with your energy. Something wrong with your energy. What's the hostility about? What's the enmity about? Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. What's the problem for real? You know what I'm saying? It can't just be that I'm out here supporting the master because that's what we supposed to do. It can't be that I'm out here putting people on the wounded wop, and I even told them to read the doctrine. But maybe it's because I told them to read the doctrine for their damn self and not to be up under y'all thinking that y'all have to read it for them like we in pre-K. People can read the books for themselves and see whether or not this hold up, that hold up. Also, they mad at me because I gave y'all the books for free. You see? So y'all see how this work? So tell me how it makes sense. What's y'all response? Do y'all think that these people are really planning to leave the planet in 2032 or before then? Do y'all think, from what you see out here, do you see people who claim they're followers or students of Dr. York? Do you see them preparing to leave the planet Earth? And remember that a part of that preparation is getting the master out of prison. According to what they say, he the only one who can open the Stargate. It is all a game. It's all a game. And some of y'all may not understand it because maybe you wouldn't move like that. You're not supposed to understand it. You ain't supposed to understand it. It takes a certain level of mastery to understand that shit. You ain't supposed to. It ain't supposed to make sense to you. You say, how could people do that? It ain't supposed to make sense to you. You have to ask the question, how could Judas trade in Jesus for a couple silver coins? 30 pieces of silver. They're trading in his freedom for money. It ain't even no money. I'm not saying that there's an amount to do it. I'm just saying, damn, it ain't even no money. These people are doing that. And then they're living their life besides him. It ain't about him. That coming up in this was disheartening. Now, if I was like 20-something when they locked him up, maybe they could have some type of categorization to put me in, that I'm not really a part of this thing and now I went way rogue into the world. No, I grew up thinking we was going to do this. And it's all fake. So break the spell. That's why I tell y'all, seek Yanun. The same Yanun that they say is in the body of Malachi. Seek Yanun. Ask Yanun to get in touch with you. Tune in to the green light. See if it's real. Other than that, they can't help you. They speak about a bunch of stuff they don't know nothing about. They don't know it for themselves. And once you ask them a question and they realize they don't know it, all they're going to say is he told them to trust what he say. That's why he taught people don't believe me. Check it out. Man, listen, I think he talking to these folks who are not going to be masters. That's who I think he talking to. Because the master is like, why would I just believe anything? But he said that. He said, you ask yourself, how can you just believe anything? You see what I'm saying? Look, even if you say you can seek your bloodline and ancestors, all right, yeah, do that. Go ahead, seek it. Seek your bloodline and ancestors. They're like, yo, man, what you gonna do? You gonna do 23andMe? Seek your bloodline and ancestors. Seek Yanun. Your bloodline and ancestors are not extraterrestrials. They don't have no vehicles to get you out of here when the destruction comes. This is only for those who have interest in seeing whether or not the shit is real. If you believe the ancestors are the ones who gonna guide you, go to them. I'm not talking about those American Indian group people. I'm talking about those who have interest in seeing whether or not the extraterrestrial thing is real. Does that make sense? Or does it go too much against your rhetoric? I'm not saying the extraterrestrial thing is real and people need to believe me. I'm saying if it's interesting enough for you to go and find out, okay, seek Yanun. I done wrote books. I did teachings to show you how to do it because I found it. And look, it ain't no one thing. You done walked yourself into some shit you can't really explain. You don't know whether or not Yanun knows each person's bloodline. You're just another one of the people who have a rhetoric programming. You don't even know who Yanun is. How can you know what Yanun knows? That's truth. The truth is you don't know what Yanun knows. You don't even know if Yanun exists. So now you're speaking on a character that I could have just made up. You see? You can seek both. Nobody said you couldn't. This is just because you have a rhetoric programming. Listen to what I'm telling you. Nobody said you can't. I literally said, or you could do that. Or you could do both. How about that? Yeah, seek the ancestors and seek Yanun. Do both of it. Now, your job is to teach people how to actually seek their ancestors. Not believe what somebody else is going to say about the ancestors. How to actually seek them. Now, that's your challenge. And my challenge is to teach people how to seek Yanun. You do your thing, I do my thing. And they get to decide whether or not they're going to do one or the other or both. Or they can ignore both of us. That's my thing. If the whole point is for people to believe what I'm saying or what you're saying or what these other people over here are saying, then we haven't broken the spell of belief. And that includes Dr. York. He's the main one who said don't believe him. But now these people, to make sure that the scripture is profitable, are pushing that they need to just believe him. No, you can trust them. However, when it comes to scientific things, you can't just trust somebody saying something. You got to understand how to go and find it out for yourself or accept that you don't know it. And if you want to say, I believe them or I trust them, that's fine. Just don't confuse trust and belief for knowing. Don't it sound familiar? This is what we used to talk to the Christian people, Muslim people, religious people about. Now I gotta explain this stuff to Nuwapians. Yeah, something happened. I don't know, maybe when he disappeared, but something happened to us. Something happened because this ain't what I grew up in. This ain't what I remember. What I remember is you could ask a challenging question. Somebody literally responded was like, now you're challenging what Baba is saying. Now you're challenging the doctrine. So? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? So? That's what, you don't remember them days where people would literally stand in front of him and challenge what he said? And you know, he didn't cry and respond emotionally and say, you know, you're just trying to find fault. I don't like what you're doing. He answered their question. So some of these questions, they're going to have to understand. It's not for you to answer because you don't have the answer. So guess who we need out? That's why I do what I do. You can't answer some of these questions. And then what they do, like in one of the rooms, the shit was like a 15-minute response. Or because I was hearing their ass back to back, they put the shit on an hour response. Like you got to wait for an hour to respond while they steady talking shit. I'm like, yo, man, that ain't none of that hard to clean up. Y'all don't have an hour to wait to respond. You know what I'm saying? And then it's click up. People are responding. One of the people like, yo, because somebody asked a question about something with the student teachers and shit. And a nigga was like, yo, man, you should let the qualified student teachers respond. Because you think somebody being in a Telegram room with student teacher on their shit means that they're a student teacher. Where you don't know what I know. I know that when a question is asked, you don't see this, but there's a behind-the-scene network of people coming together to figure out the answer, not one person. And what you don't also understand is there's Google, there's AI, there's all kind of other shit that people use to answer your question, not just the doctrine shit. So you're watching people take time to type out an answer and go and find it and deliver it and put it out. You're not talking to people who know this shit in their brain. Because when I talk to them in person, they don't know shit. Because there ain't no machines that you can hide behind and type and bold certain parts of the... No, when you're talking in person, if you don't know it, you don't know it. That's what I come from that. If you don't know, you say, I don't know. Or you say, let me go and look into that for you. I'll get back with you with an answer. You don't act like you know it because that's not what student teacher means, that you know everything. You see? But that's what it is. And then people are getting confused. And then more misinformation is coming. Then you got a clash of different styles. You know what I'm saying? Some of the women, some of the men, they're clashing. And it's confusion. It's confusion. And then some people are like, yo, which one? We ain't going based off the old doctrine no more. But every time y'all try to answer certain questions, y'all bring up old doctrine. That means that people out here in the world have old doctrine questions. They have holy tablets questions. Some of the questions people ask, yo, that's in the holy tablets. Somebody else, I say, oh, that's in the mission Earth and the extraterrestrial involvement. Then they do little slighting things. Like when you answer a question, because that's what I was doing too. When you answer a question, they go over you and say, this person really did a great job of answering it. You know, that's why we have the feminine doing it. I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck is wrong with these people? They didn't even answer the question of what the person asking about. If the person asking about propulsion and you just bring up an element in space, and you bringing up a propulsion system of coming into the air, that's not what they're asking about. They're asking about how it works. You see what I'm explaining to you? Not just something that's used, whether it's air or the element. They ask about how it works. And that is explained in Mission Earth and the extraterrestrial involvement. And he talks about gravity, not just air. How they come in and they use gravity to navigate. You see? And how certain ones of them will spin or push and pull or use what they call blast electricity. These are the answers people are looking for. You see? But they get upset when you do that. Okay. So I leave those environments. I say, okay, they're not ready. They're not ready for none of this stuff they're talking about. There's a whole world out here. And if y'all letting them people from OSM run this shit, it ain't going nowhere. I'm talking about whatever y'all think y'all got going on. Because them folks, some with their spirit. I don't know what it is, but I will figure it out. But some with their spirit. Some with their spirit. I go into the room. I ask one question. I say, why is Malachi being referred to as the Black Messiah? Niggas say, please refrain from asking questions that have already been answered countless times. Do you know you will get your ass cussed out in real life? Do you know you will get cussed out in real life for trying to handle me in front of people? Like you don't know who I am coming into the room? When I say, peace, throw back, this is phase one. Question, why is Malachi being referred to as or referring to himself as the Black Messiah? Try not to ask questions that's already been answered countless times. Go back and read it. Yo, man, you almost got cussed out. I just be remembering be elders in the rooms. You almost got your ass cussed out. Who the fuck are you? I asked a question. Answer the question. You don't know the answer? Be quiet. But they didn't know the answer. That's why I just stopped. I even said, hey, look, I take it back. Forget the question. Forget I asked it. They were arguing about that shit for 2 days. I'm like, yo, this is why I said never mind. Never mind, because I was asking, pointing to the direction of the counterintelligence program. I'm like, yo, why would he be the Messiah of the black race unless he's speaking to the generality of people that's all out here, but still, he said he coming for a few people, the elite few. That ain't the whole black race. And then what the fuck is the black race? That don't exist. Then they say the black race got a whole bunch of species. I'm like, yo, man, what the hell is happening? They're not even able to hear what I'm saying. I'm like, do you understand that people who have the melanin dominant gene may have ancestors who are Caucasian or Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, the mix of it. You looking at somebody now, you're not seeing somebody who's just the black race. And then they move the goalposts again and say, well, there's a bunch of species of them. Okay, whoever the species, the nigga brought up the Suns, the original people. I'm like, nigga, we are not the Suns. We ain't the Bushmen. We are not the original people. We're not the Bantu. We're none of them. We niggas from Atlanta, Chicago, Mississippi, nigga, but we are not who. He was sent to the Suns, the original people. The original people are no longer here. So he's sent to nobody. No, I think he dumbing shit down for people who like, okay, you supposed to be advanced by now. And that's why I even said, I said, well, I think he taught beyond this. I think he taught beyond this doctrine, and I'm just going to step back from that. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm asking the question to see if people know what the fuck they talking about. Because if you go into the counterintelligence program, there is no Black Messiah. So when they made the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, wrong. But I didn't know how to get in contact with the producer. I would have told him that title wrong. I would have just said, yo, it should say Judas and the Messiah. Because when you saying Black Messiah, counterintelligence program was speaking about a Messiah. They said they wanted to prevent the rise of a Messiah, not a Black Messiah, who would be able to electrify and unify the militant Black nationalist movement. You don't think I know what I'm talking about? They said, yo, and then I'm like, yo, you can't be saying Malachi is their Black Messiah for counterintelligence program. Because in the counterintelligence program, the nigga, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I should have said that because some people might find that offensive. But the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, peace be upon him, alayhi salam, was 70 years old when the memorandum came out. Right? Was that like 1968? He was 70 years old. They said Elijah Muhammad could have been a threat, but they said the nigga too old. That's what they said. I read it. They said Stokely Carmichael would be one of the ones who would be a threat. They said Martin Luther King might be a threat if he ever sit down the liberal shit. Pay attention to what they said. They don't see none of that liberal shit as a threat. They said if he ever sit down the liberal shit, then Martin Luther King might be a threat. He never sat it down, and they still killed him out of fear that he would set it down because he was working with Malcolm X behind the scenes. They still killed him. So if you telling me the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was too old to be seen as a threat, and he was 70, and Malachi is 81, it still ain't making sense. All I'm doing is asking questions. That's it. Why they mad at me? They got mad at me. Say, now you challenging Baba. I'm not challenging him. Motherfucker. He says that. Okay, maybe he's saying it for y'all. Maybe I need to be quiet. Because he taught beyond all this black shit. Nigga, we learned about the Moors and nationality. We was reading the Black's Law Dictionary. What? We had our own constitution. So if he had to go back to, I'm here to say the black race, that's tough. What does that say about y'all? That's tough. That's tough. You know what I mean? But they got mad at me. That's what he said. They get mad at you. They'll get mad at you when you ask questions. Yeah. They got upset with me. I asked a question. I said, why is he being called Baba Avatara if he said the Avatara are fallen angels? Right? One of the brothers answered it. He said, yo, Avatar just means descent. Da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. I'm making sure y'all niggas know what the fuck y'all talking about. Anybody been around know damn well I know what an Avatar is. Avatara and what it means in Sanskrit. Ilamutajasada. Y'all know I'm one of the ones who came up in the sons of green light. I was surrounded by them. So you know I know what Avatar mean. I was testing these folks' spirit. Fuck you talking about? And then one of the older ones come in and say, where does he say that at? Where in our doctrine? So I had to tell him, it's page 73. Mission, Earth, and extraterrestrial involvement. You see what I'm saying? You read it in there where he said the disagreeables of the Hindus or the 200 fallen angels were the Avatar who became or begot the Hindus as the disagreeables. Okay, he said they were called the Avatar. I'm just making sure niggas know what the fuck we talking about while we out here talking about it. Shit. But you know what I'm saying? But you just have to accept it. When you going to get to the degree of overstanding? Or just say you're no different than them Christians. But it's the first conversation I had with them back in 2023. Or one of the first conversations I had with them in one of them temples. When they were saying we don't deal with the Elohim or the Anunnaki no more. Now we deal with the Neteru and all that. I say, yo, that's the same shit. Same shit. When you say Anunnaki, you're saying extraterrestrials. That's what he said. When you say Panatharu or Natari, you're saying the overseers. Why do you call them overseers? Because they're coming from outside of the planet and they can look down and see when they come in. Or when they use their technology, they watch it. Extraterrestrials. And not only is it the same shit, and then of course you can break it down into different stories and say we ain't that, da da da. You don't know, you just know what he said. It's also saying you don't know whether or not the Anunnaki are real, the angels are real, the Elohim are real, or the Redskins are real. Do you? Simple. You don't know. Them the type of questions we asked the Christians. We didn't just come in and ask Christians shit that align with the doctrine that they teach to make sure that they can answer it. No, we ask you hard questions because it challenges you to go beyond what your thinking system is. Some people ain't ready to go beyond that. I mean, so I just want to come on here and talk to y'all real quick and just remind you, don't believe not everything, anything you see. When you see a video like, I couldn't pull it up, it wouldn't come up. When you see a video with the druski and saying cancel druski, learn how to watch a whole video before having an opinion or a comment on it. That'll save you from being loud and wrong. And I'm only telling you that because I had to go through that school too. Learn how to watch the whole shit. Anybody with eyes will be able to see and ears to hear. FaZe did not say cancel druski in the video. I didn't even portray that. Simple. I was saying they're what them folks saying. And anybody who caught up in the political game. But anyway, that's the price you pay. Every time you have to get the attention of the masses, you pay a price. Some people are going to hate you. Some people are going to love it. All that shit costs. Don't think love is free. That shit costs. You know what I'm saying? People love you. They want to talk to you. You got 70 DMs off one post in one day. 70 DMs said, I've been meaning to speak to you about this. God damn, you've been meaning to. Everybody started the same way. I've been meaning to talk to you. I've been meaning to talk to you. I've been meaning to talk to you. You know what I mean? People love you. They want to talk to you. People love you. They want to work with you. Everybody want to work with you. People love you. You know what I'm saying? That shit costs. People love you. You know, they get mad when you don't respond to their DM in 3 minutes. I didn't think you would like that. People like, oh, man, that shit crazy. Somebody was cussing me out of my email the other day. Say, yo, man, I didn't think you was like that. At this point, I just want a refund. Da-da-da-da, whoop-de-whoop. Because they had sent in for the album that me and Todd did. But they had an Android. So when I sent you the link, your Android didn't process it. I didn't even know that. I didn't know Androids did that. And I had to send them the photo and say, I never received anything. I'm like, man, so you mad at me because you got Android? Not that I'm like that, whatever that means. I didn't think you was like that. I'm not. I have the iPhone. So everybody who shit, when I try to send them the link and it turned green, I already know. What's your email? Shit, I had to learn. I didn't know. The fuck? I sent it. I didn't know your shit didn't get the shit it said it got. But as an Android, it ain't gonna tell you shit. You just gotta wish. You send an Android message, but that just give you anxiety, don't it? You don't know whether the fuck that shit was sent. It's one thing when people don't have them red recipients on. It's another thing when motherfucking Android don't even tell you shit. Just sit there and look at you. Well, did they get it? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Come back to same time tomorrow. You ain't shit, Android. You know what I'm saying? So don't just believe what y'all hear. And again, just so it's to be clear, when I speak on the Sabians, I'm not talking about everybody. You know what I'm saying? When I speak on the Nubians, I'm not talking on everybody. When I speak about the answer, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm speaking about the majority, though. That's what's so crazy. The majority are more focused on living their life than the man who they saying gave him his life. It's just weird to me. And then we do what we can. And it's like they keep playing, and I'm telling you what's going to happen. Even though I'm doing everything I can, I'm petitioning the overseers. I'm like, yo, I done seen the statue show. We just did the ceremony. I'm doing everything that I can. Like, listen, I think a button gonna be pushed though. That's not gonna be able to be reversed. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to know that so y'all can understand. I got great intentions. My heart is in the right place. I care about the master coming out. That's been like that since I was 10. So they can't say I'm one of these people who trying to act like I'm with them. What the fuck wrong with these people? One of those excerpts that did sent none to saying I was trying to be one of them, or what else he said? Asking questions like, why won't the master trust me? Why won't he give me a position? Da 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 da. I don't ask that little bitty shit. That's for little people. What do you mean? Why would I need to ask the master to give me a position when he gave me everything I need to get a position? That's y'all fucking problem. Y'all always asking him for some shit, like some little babies. He taught you how to make a sandwich. Here you are saying, me, handing him the bread and shit. He taught you how to make a sandwich. I know, because he taught me how to make a sandwich. What do you think? How you think I'm able to move out here? How you think I move how I move? The elders come down, literally. Not from the sky, but like from different states. I don't want people to see niggas pull up in ships and shit. The elders come down from different states. I don't want confusion. How about that? They drive in cars. And they bear witness to this shit. They say, you move like the master. You move like Baba. I ain't talking about just, no, these are people that have been around him. Man, and what's so crazy is I moved like him, but I wasn't around him. That's how powerful epigenetics is. That's what he was saying. The information and the teachers are going to activate the genes of the true. You see what I'm saying? And I'm one of the true, but I don't need to prove that to nobody. So I'm like, why y'all always waiting on this man to say something? Them nigga literally told me that in the temple. I said, when we going to get out there and reach the people? Bro said, if they write a book, if Baba writes a book and tell us to do it, we'll do it. I'm like, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. If we still got to reach the masses to find the remaining few and fix what's here and help bring things to order, bro, what would make you think I need to wait for him to write a book and say, Faze, go do that? When he sent me the message, the audio message, wasn't I already doing what he was saying do? He said, get out there and reach those other rappers. Tell them, don't be afraid to pop their right knowledge. Right? Keep spinning that message. Our people are waking up fast and then walking around in a circle. They don't know where to go. I've been doing that, Pop. I'm like, damn, he basically said, keep going. When he folks out here trying to tell me that he was mad at me and didn't approve all this other shit. Man, I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. If you got the doctrine and you got it down pat, why you not activating with it? Unless this shit is just a genetic thing, I guess. You supposed to get outside with the truth. He literally said that. He said, don't start thinking just because your ass got the truth that your ass is free. You got to get out with the truth. Go out, learn how to plant and grow. He was saying you got to get outside and fight with the truth. These folks sitting in the temple, sitting there talking to 7 people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't understand this shit. I don't understand this shit. And again, the main truth is what's going on with him. But you want to know what's so crazy? This is real life. When I went to one of them temples, Dan Tut and them told me that Pop said support Williams and Williams. Right? And I said, cause I was asking Waki, his sister, I said, what's going on with this Williams and Williams thing? She said, I don't know what's going on. What do you think about it? I said, I don't know. I said, this shit. Well, I didn't say it like that. I said, every time I ask questions, you know what I mean, I get met with hostility. She said, who you getting mad with hostility from? My nephew? My nephew is Prince York. She said, some people just like to argue. She said, I'm not saying my nephew. She said, but some people just like to argue. Don't waste your time. Da, 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 da. And then I asked, and then, she asked the brother Denta. She asked, she said, what did Baba say about Williams and Williams? Right? So she passed it. I know. Well, I keep passing that shit quick as hell. She passed it to him. So I turned to him, looked at him. He said support Williams and Williams. I said, how did he say it? He said, well, he just said support Williams and Williams. I said, that's not how he would say it. I said, when the master sent out a message, he'll say, let my words be known. And when I said, let my words be known, Waki said it with me. We both said it at the same time, let my words be known. I looked at her and she looked at me. She know. I don't know what she know, but she knows something because of how my elders used to do that look. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about, not just my elders. You remember the grandmama they used to do that look that let you know something. So I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh, these folks they just here. Like, they gonna believe whatever being said. But then you got the ones who, bro, I'm not going for that. Some got to make sense before you know what I'm saying? What would it wind up being? Partner put out the message verbally and say, Williams and Williams was a game. I had this attorney check it, this attorney check it, this attorney check it. All they did was make money. All they did was this. Same thing I was saying that they were trying to say I was lying about when Prince York and them were doing them rooms and shit, saying I was lying. How's Barber going to say that? How my father going to say that if they blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this nigga, then Pop come out and say what I said. Well, they were getting mad at me because I wouldn't support Williams. You see? But everybody was on that Williams and Williams shit. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. First of all, WAW is Wall. Valve. That shit you should pay attention to that on rip. WW Wall. 6. Valve. I'm like, yo, anybody seeing this? They weren't listening. He said, my son who thinks he's some kind of prince. I'm like, ooh. Yeah. And then Prince did a response. He was like, the response. I ain't even going in the room. I'm like, man, what the hell? Actually, I think I might have went in the room and then dipped out just showing that I was there. Like, it's just so much going on. So you like, so what's the real thing? Money, y'all. It's money. Man, that shit crazy. But I think that last button finna be pushed. He either finna come out or it's on. Meaning, I'm talking about like immediately. Not know, will he ever get out? I'm talking about, we need immediate answers, immediate responses. Or it's on. It's on. Like, irreversible. And you can't tell me nothing. You want to stop me? Get him out. We tired. Yep. Well, y'all, what y'all talking about? Y'all keep saying, watch it. I watched it pay. I read Tarot. I got a different look. You read Tarot? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. I don't know what you're talking about, folks. I don't know what you're talking about. Spells are words. I don't know, man. I don't. Yeah. What you talking about? Is she talking about the video? Oh, she talking about. Oh, nah, man. You should have asked your tarot how to watch a video. You should have asked your tarot how to watch a video completely. And I can't even get on you too much because you're a female. But I do gotta say that again because that's a bar. You definitely should have asked the tarot. All right, Spirit, how do I watch a video completely? It's only 60 seconds. You didn't watch the video. No, you didn't. You saw the title of the video. So how you doing tarot? Because with tarot, you can't just look at the card and read what it say and know what, you know what I'm saying? You have to read the photo, the picture. You got to read the little text that come with it. I grew up doing tarot. You ain't going to tell me you did tarot. I made my own tarot cards. You doing tarot, you can't just be looking at the surface. You got to be able to read past shit that look like something. You didn't watch the video. You didn't watch the video in no way. No way you watched the video. Look, watch the video again. And then come back. It's okay. But it's no way you watch the video if you think I said cancel him. Huh? Starting off acting like you ain't know. I don't know. Chosen podcast. Hey, look, check it out. I'm going to let you go now because you don't know me. You don't know me. I'll bring your ass on here. But it really looked like, okay, cool. You got it, twin. You got it. None of that shit, bro. Man, like, what I got time to vote for? I don't got nothing to do with none of it. I ain't studying none of it. I ain't worried about none of it. I'll be right back.